Good afternoon, YouTube. X-File 2708 back again with another video. Now, you might be wondering from the thumbnail well, you won't be wondering what it's all about because the thumbnail pretty much tells you. I thought I'd start a new series on the channel, really just to break up the pickups videos. So, at the minute, managing to get out and about on a regular basis with the girlfriend and with Ghost Lou. So, I'm coming back, and as you can see from the shelving units, adding lots and lots of movies to the collection. So, at the minute, I'm probably able to record maybe 3 pickups videos a week. So, just to break up the pickups videos, I started doing the 5-minute movie reviews. So if you haven't checked the movie review that I put up yesterday, have yourselves a little look-see, guys. Very much appreciated. And yeah, as I say, with the thumbnail on this one, it's going to be a new series with regards to my movies that I watched last week. So this is going to be episode 1. Basically, I won't go into detail about the movies. I'll basically show you the movie, maybe read the blurb on the back of the box if needed, let you know the rating that I gave it, and then move on to the next one. So, like I say, just something different for the channel. Lots of people comment on the movie pickups, so there's a lot of interest in the movie side of things. So yeah, like I say, I thought I'd do a little spin-off and share with you guys what I've been watching for the previous week. So I'll be aiming to do one of these a week, all being well, along with a 5-minute movie review and a movie pickups episode. So 3 videos still going up on the channel, but like I say, not 3 movie pickups videos. So we'll try and mix it up a little bit, so keep it interesting. So I nearly said movie pickups for last week. Then I'm so in the routine of movie pickups. But yeah, movies that I watched last week. So I've got 6 movies here to show you. One movie that I watched on the Fire Stick, and then there's also a TV series that I've been dipping into as well. So without further ado, guys, first movie that I watched last week was Shutter Island with Leonardo DiCaprio. Now, this is described as a psychological thriller. Now, this was done back in 2010, I think it was. And it's always one that's passed me by. I think I mentioned when I did the pickups video for it that I'd seen no end of copies week in, week out of this particular title. Always passed it by, but then I thought, oh well, I'll have a look on IMDb, and I actually managed to get it as part of the bundle deal from Rich through Horror Asylum. But yeah, it gets an 8.2 out of 10 on IMDb. So this was the first movie that I checked out last week, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Absolutely brilliant. So if you're similar to me, guys, if it's one that's passed you by over the years, then wholeheartedly recommend checking this one out. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 on my letterbox. So there we go. That's the first movie, guys. Let's have a look. It's done by director Martin Scorsese. Once again, teams up with Leonardo DiCaprio in this spine-chilling thriller that critics say sizzles with so much suspense that it's hot to the touch. When US Marshal Teddy Daniels arrives at the asylum for the criminally insane on Shutter Island, what starts as a routine investigation quickly takes a sinister turn as the investigation unfolds and Teddy uncovers more shocking and terrifying truths about the island. He learns there are some places that never let you go. But yeah, absolutely brilliant movie. Definitely one that's going to stay in the collection and one that I will rewatch later on down the line. So there we go. That's the first one, guys. Shutter Island. Right. Next up, this is a movie from 2000, and it's part of my World Cinema collection, and it is Battle Royale. So absolutely brilliant movie. This is one that I've seen a couple of times previously, but it was one that I wanted to get back into the collection again. So I was very happy to grab this Arrow release when I saw it in a local CEX. Basically, it's a group of, I think, 9th grade students that are kidnapped by the Japanese government and placed onto an island that's in the middle of nowhere, and it's basically left to them last man standing. So they're all randomly given a rucksack that may or may not contain a weapon of use, and obviously they start to turn against each other and get into groups and the betrayal side of things and stuff like that. But the kills in it, some of the kills are absolutely brutal to fuck. Right up my street. Thoroughly enjoyed this one. So again, if you haven't seen it before, guys, and you don't mind your World Cinema movies, so foreign language with English subtitles, then wholeheartedly recommend checking this one out. Letterboxd rating wise, guys, I gave this one a 4 out of 5. So there we go. That's Battle Royale. Next one. Absolutely love dipping into the Alfred Hitchcock movies at the minute. So I don't think, well, you might be able to see behind me, that section there, there's a dozen or so Alfred Hitchcock movies currently. And one that I hadn't watched before that quite a few people, I think, when I picked up the haul of Hitchcock movies from the charity shop a couple of weeks ago, quite a few people in the comments posted and said how good this particular movie was. So it was at the top of my list to watch for the first time. And it is Saboteur from 1942. And that's what I love about the Hitchcock movies. They don't feel dated. You know, I'll stick them on of an evening, and I'm 9 times out of 10 I'm glued to them from start to finish. So the stories are absolutely superb, and this is a guy basically that that gets set up for a crime that he doesn't commit, and he's basically trying to get away from people that are trying to falsely capture and imprison him. But yeah, 1942, this one, guys, by Alfred Hitchcock. Again, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Letterboxd wise, I gave this one a 3.5 out of 5. So if you like your old fashioned movies, you know, your crime thrillers, and you've dabbled in Alfred Hitchcock goodness before, and you haven't seen this one, then again, it's a big recommendation from me. And again, it will be going into the collection and being rewatched at some point soon down the line. So there we go, Saboteur. Right, next one I watched. Let me just grab a slurp of coffee. Right, next one that I watched, guys. Doing these in order of the days that I watched them. Was a film from this year actually. So I watched it on the Fire Stick. So what I tend to do with new movies is I check them out on the Fire Stick first. If they're my cup of tea, if I enjoy them, They then go on to my list to grab on physical media at some point down the line. So, you know, I've watched, I think previously, Smile and Talk to Me, Thanksgiving, watched all of those on the Fire Stick. Really enjoyed them, so I've put those onto the watch list. So when they drop down in the likes of HMV or CX down to a sensible price on Blu-ray, then I'll pick them up and add them into the collection. So this particular movie that I watched was The First Omen. Now, I'm a massive fan of the original Omen movie, so recently picked up from a local charity shop, the Omen Pentology. So looking forward to rewatching through those again. And The First Omen obviously recently came out in the cinemas. I was a little bit hesitant with it because I'd recently watched Exorcist Believer, and I hated it. So it was one of those, I thought, okay, they've done a spin-off for The Omen. In fact, it's actually a prequel to the original Omen. I thought, I really hope they do a good job of it and they don't ruin it like was done with Exorcist Believer. But thankfully, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Rating wise, guys, I gave it a 4 out of 5. Very atmospheric movie, as you can imagine, with it being part of the Omen series. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and I loved I won't say it was a twist at the end. I'm trying to do these as spoiler free, the same as I do with my 5-minute movie review. So basically, I'll tell you, a synopsis of the movie, if needed, and I'll give you a rating, but there won't be any spoilers. But yeah, 4 out of 5 I gave this one, and the bit at the end where it links in to the original Omen movie, I think they did really well. Like I say, I won't go into detail as to what that bit was at the end. I'll let you discover that for yourselves if it's one that you guys choose to watch. But for me, thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's one that's going on the list to pick up on physical media once it gets released, and it's dropped down, to a little bit more of a sensible price. What I tend to do with movies like that is add them onto my CX and HMV lists, and once I see them drop below a tenner on Blu-ray, then I'll normally pull the trigger and grab them for the collection. So there we go, guys. That was The First Omen. Next one, what have we got left? We've got 3 left to do, guys. So coming up 15 minutes, so not too bad at all. So a movie now, if you're into your horrors, I'm sure everybody knows about this one, and it is, there we go, guys, John Carpenter's The Fog from 1980. Seen this one numerous times over the years. Absolutely super nostalgic movie for me. Absolutely love it. Starring Tom Atkins, Adrian Barbeau, I think Barbeau, her name, and Jamie Lee Curtis. So yeah, brilliant atmospheric movie with a brilliant score to boot as well. If you haven't seen it before, guys, if you've I don't know, been in prison for the last 40, 50 years and you haven't had the chance to see it as yet, Antonio Bay, a quaint small seaside town, is celebrating the 100th anniversary of its founding. That night, a heavy, mysterious fog rolls through the town and people begin to die in savage ways. Rumours of a secret as old as the town begin to surface, and the people of Antonio Bay realise they are victims of long-dead sailors who have come to revenge their own murders. At the hands of the town's founding fathers, the townspeople can only wait for the fog to roll in and pray that they are not the next to die. So yeah, one I've seen numerous times over the years, always one that I enjoy re-watching. It is one that I am going to upgrade to Blu-ray at some point down the line. Not too sure if they've done a 4K release of this one as yet. More than likely they have. But unless it's, cheapy cheap, then, I'll more than happily keep the DVD in the collection and then grab the Blu-ray at some point down the line. So letterbox rating wise, guys, I gave this one a solid 4 out of 5. So yeah, if you haven't seen it before by some miracle, then please do yourself a favour and get it on your pile to watch. So there we go, there's The Fog. Right, and these last two guys gave Ghost Lou the choice, with it being Father's Day weekend. Said to him, right, we'll go and grab some munchies from town when we're out and about. You can choose a couple of movies for us to watch on, I think it was the Friday night and the Saturday. And he came up with 2 corkers, so he's been brought up really well when you see these choices, guys. First one that he chose, Rob Zombie's Halloween. So this is the director's cut. So this is obviously Rob Zombie's remake from 2007. So absolutely brutal as fuck, this one. A lot of people, don't put this one and his sequel, Halloween 2, that Rob Zombie did. They don't really class them as part of the Halloween franchise, but I lump them in there with the other ones that were done over the years. And I think probably the original Halloween and Season of the Witch are my favourites, but this 2007 remake from Rob Zombie is absolutely superb. So it's definitely up there as one of my favourites in the Halloween franchise. So if you haven't seen it, guys, like I say, Rob Zombie's done this one, and he did Halloween 2 remake as well. Halloween 2 remake doesn't rate as well. I did re-pick it up recently. I think I've only ever watched it once many years ago. I wasn't a fan of it, but with a lot of movies I do like to give them a second chance. So it is one that I've picked up for the collection again and will be rewatching soon. But for me, guys, this one gets a solid 4 out of 5 on my letterbox. So if you haven't checked it out, again, do yourselves a big favour, and it's cheap as chips, I think, on the likes of CX and Music Magpie. So go grab it on DVD, cheapest option, and get it watched. So there we go, Halloween 2007. Right, quick slurp again, then on to the last movie before we talk about TV series. Right, this was the second one, so I watched this one with Ghost Lou on the Saturday evening, and it is, there we go, horror comedy, Cockneys versus Zombies. So yeah, this is one from 2012. Got an absolutely stellar lineup in it. It's got the likes of what's his name, Alan Ford, Honor Blackman, Richard Bryars, Michelle Ryan, just to name a few. If you enjoy your horror comedies, this is a superb watch. Probably for me and Ghost Lou, I think we're pretty much the same with our rankings for horror comedies. Shaun of the Dead being up there as our favourite, followed by Tucker and Dale versus Evil, and then this one comes in a very solid third place. So absolutely brilliant. It's say at the top there it says Shaun of the Dead meets Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, and that sums this movie up in a nutshell. If it's one you've not heard of, if you've not seen it before, again, pretty cheap to pick up. One that I recommend and always enjoy rewatching. Letterbox wise, I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. So again, a really good score on Letterboxd, and one that will be very much staying in the collection and being rewatched on a semi-regular basis. So there we go. There's Cockneys versus Zombies. Right, and last but not least, TV series wise. Now, I don't tend to watch a lot of TV series. Very few and far between that I'll actually pick up TV series on physical media. Mainly because of the space that TV box sets take up. So I tend to watch a lot of my TV series, either series linked through the Virgin box, or I'll watch them on Fire Stick, or I'll watch them on YouTube if the episodes are on there. So one TV series that I've started rewatching through. I don't think when it originally aired, I'd have been too young to watch it. I'm sure it was a TV series that my mum used to watch in the late 70s through to the mid 80s, and it was always something that I caught bits of. But the TV series, guys, is Prisoner Cell Block H. So if you haven't seen it before, it's a TV drama series that aired, I think, from 1979 through to 1986. And it went through, I think they did something close to 700 episodes. Now, it's something, like I say, that I always caught bits of. It was either on, I can't remember, it must have been something like ITV, I think it was, and it was late at night, so it was something that my mum watched, that I saw bits of the episodes. But I've always loved prison movies, prison drama TV series. So a couple of years ago, I started rewatching through all of the Bad Girls TV series, and if you haven't seen those, basically Bad Girls is like a modern day version of Prisoner Cell Block H. But luckily, I was looking to grab the Prisoner Cell Block H episodes, but on CX, obviously they're long out of print now. So I think the box sets were ranging something silly like I think £10 up to £30, depending on what season you wanted to watch. Now, I asked the chap that runs the Fire Stick service, I said, any chance you can add the episodes on? And fair play to him, he came back and said, I can't. Unfortunately, you're talking 700 episodes and whatever the terabytes it would have took to upload. But I had a quick look on YouTube, and YouTube has all, I think it's 692 or 697 episodes in full. So each episode runs, I think, 3/4 of an hour, something like that. So they're ideal episodes to sit and watch, while I'm having a bite to eat of a dinner time, or while I'm sat having tea of an evening. So I think I'm maybe 17 or 18 episodes in so far. I think I wanted to... One character I always remember from Prisoner Cell Block H was the asshole called The Freak. She was one of the bent prison wardens that was absolutely horrible. But, she was one of those characters that, you know, she was that bad a character that you remember her probably more than any of the other characters. But I don't think she comes into Prisoner Cell Block H until, I can't remember, I did look the other day, I think it's like 87 episodes in or something, so it's a long way before the freak comes into it. But yeah, I've watched the first 17 or 18 episodes so far and absolutely loving it. So, you know, if you like your hard hitting prison dramas, then like I say, check out, there's a full playlist of nearly all 700 episodes here on YouTube. And yeah, say something I'm just chipping away watching, you know, 1 or 2 episodes a day and thoroughly enjoying it. So there we go, guys. That's my, I'd say the majority. Obviously, you know, there's dribs and drabs of other TV series and whatever, but those are the ones that I thought I'd mention throughout this one. Obviously, at the minute we're in the middle of the Euros tournament, so days where I'd normally be watching 1 or 2 movies, I'm probably sat watching the football matches. So with you know, the championship season not starting till the middle of August, I think it is, pretty much, then, you know, I'm filling my boots with the Euros at the minute and loving it. So you know, that's eating into my movie time a little bit, but you know, as you can see from that selection that I showed you there, I am still putting the time into watching some movies. So let me know in the comments, guys, if you enjoyed this particular first episode, if you think it's a good idea for a series, and you'd like to see some more episodes. Equally, if you've seen any of those movies that I showed, let me know in the comments. Let me know if they were ones you enjoy. If you haven't seen them before and you're tempted to check them out based on what I've discussed in this particular episode, always nice to interact with you guys in the comments. So, as always, guys, please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll be back later on in the week with another video. Bye for now, guys.